Hello and welcome to Go Ballistic, Scottish SunSport's look back at the Premiership weekend. I'm Roger Hanna. With me today is Gareth Law. We'll soon go to SunSport's Kris Boyd for his view on how the big games went at the weekend. But it was a super Sunday in the Premiership, Gareth. It all started at high noon and Celtic had to come from behind, 2 goals in the last 14 minutes, I think, to get the 3 points and maintain that 100% domestic record.
Yeah, I think when they obviously fell behind, I think everybody was thinking, well, how are they going to react after what they went through in midweek in the Champions League? A lot of questions asked of them, I think. But it was one of those ones where you just felt the longer the game went on, Celtic would probably come into their own with that strength and depth. I think they've always got that. They can always rely on that they can bring on the quality of players they did in the second half. And eventually the pressure will tell. But I mean, it was a different kind of win. I think, a different type of challenge for Brendan Rodgers. I think one he's maybe not had so much this season domestically. But I think he'll have been relieved to come through that one.
Do you think the early form in the game yesterday, was there a hangover almost, not just from Dortmund, but for that sort of stamina-sapping week Celtic had away in Perth, away in Dortmund, all the travelling, the sort of psychological stigma of losing 7 goals in Germany? Will they slow out the blocks because of that, do you think? Yeah,
I think for all they are top-class footballers and they'll get the best of treatment and everything, it's got to take it out of you. I mean, I saw what you were like when you came back from 2 weeks in Mexico. I mean, it's not easy. So I think that's got to play a part somewhere along the lines. I think there's got to be. It's a Sunday. There's so many things like that. I think it's got to play a part. But then the more the game goes on, then as I said before, they just came into their own.
They went 3 points clear. Aberdeen then pulled the back level with that 3-2 win against Hearts, and they had to dig deep. Celtic dug deep, Aberdeen too. When they went 2-1 down, they had to dig deep as well, but they got there for a 13th consecutive win for Jimmy Tillane.
Yeah, I think everybody's been looking at when this run's going to end. It's been some start for him, and again, question marks when they fell behind. You wondered if Liam Fox had somehow found the sort of the secret there. Certainly at the start of that game. Again, different challenge. Duke back in the squad now. He's got different options there. Papagay's obviously, he's out for a long time. But, people looked at Aberdeen and thought, what's going to happen after Miovski leaves? Mm-hmm. I think you can't argue with what he's done. And it obviously sets things up now for a brilliant game on October the 19th. I think that's the one everybody's going to be looking at now. Some people have said Aberdeen have had the perfect start, or Jimmy Tillane's had the perfect start in terms of the way the fixtures were mapped out, and he's been able to build up and build up and build up and build up. I think that game will be the one now that will be the true test of whether Aberdeen can maybe even stay there for longer during the season and actually present a real challenge to the Old Firm.
It looks a terrific game. Rangers are looking up at both Celtic and Aberdeen. They did get a win last night, 2-0 at home to St Johnstone, highlighted by 2 goals for Václav Černý, and of course the red card for Ianis Hagi.
I think Černý needed that. I think after the week he's had, there were a lot of question marks. You could see from his celebration, how he wanted to involve the manager in that, and clearly there's been a lot of support gone Černy's way from the manager this week. He'll have needed that. From the way Philippe Clement speaks, you get the impression that obviously he brought Černý in, yes, but he's fully supportive of him and believes that he is a player despite that miss in the week. Černy's come off his social media, so he's not done that for no reason as well. So I think that showed a lot of resilience from him, I think. And like I say, he needed that. As for Hagi, he's not getting much luck at the minute, Hagi, is he? But Clement said he wasn't almost ready for that. He's working his way back to fitness. Problem is now he'll be suspended and he's going away with Romania this week. So Clement will no doubt hope that he gets some minutes in his legs and he can at least come back and then present, become a real player back in that squad.
Great, Gareth. Thanks very much. Can now head down to Ayrshire. A lovely autumn morning down there in the farm with Kris Boyd. There's not too much wind. It's just a nice morning for you this morning, Boyd. What about the weekend's football? Celtic almost blown off course at Dingwall.
I mean, I think when you look at Ross County, they defended well, and that would be the argument. When you go into Celtic in terms of when they're away in Europe, can they not do that to some of the so-called bigger teams in Europe? But listen, Brendan Rodgers ain't going to change the way he plays, especially in Scotland, that's for sure, because I mean, they just kept on knocking on the door, and it was inevitable it was going to be blown down at one point. You look at, I mean, people will say that Alistair Johnston means, you know, to stick his hip towards that ball and deflect it into the goal. You know, but I must say, I mean, Ross County deserve a lot of credit. You know, they get slaughtered, and rightly so after their performance at Hampden a few weeks ago. But you look at them. They've been on a decent wee run, you know, unbeaten in 3 going into that game. Very difficult to beat up there. And I will say they've got someone, and you know, in the striker Hale, that he knows the way to go. Even yesterday, just watching him, because I think you tend to you know, look at other strikers. His movement, I know he didn't have a lot to go on, but when the ball was getting wide, you could look at his movement. It's decent. It's decent. His goals record over the years. Or the last 4 years, I mean, I think I was looking at it yesterday. It's over 80 goals in 4 years, Roger. That is some return. So I mean, I think Ross County, in terms of, you know, if they can build on that performance, take a bit of confidence from it. Huge game against, I think, is it St Johnstone next for them? At McDermott, yeah. I think it is. So it's a huge game there, but I said Celtic just they do what they do, don't they? They find a way to win games of football. It was a little bit flat, and listen, I get that. You know, sometimes it is difficult coming back off a huge European result. Bad result. But you look at Celtic. The substitutions come on and made the difference. I thought, look, McCowan was really good when he came on. Bernardo never really spoken about, but you know, he had an impact on the game. And Kyogo just stretches and allows the rest to do what they do. There's more space when he's there. And Brendan Rodgers will be happy that they're able to you know, turn it around and get the 3 points, because it did look as if, you know, maybe Ross County could have just held on.
Celtic bounced back from a dreadful Euro result to get a dramatic win in the Highlands. Rangers bounced back from a dreadful Euro result to beat St Johnstone last night. And the man who missed, the Van Vossen-style howler against Lyon, Václav Černý, manages to slightly atone with that double last night.
Yeah, I mean, I thought his first goal was excellent, to be honest. You know, similar to Kuhn, as soon as he comes inside, you know exactly what he's going to try and do. As soon as he nutmegs the boy, then he's away from him and he just bends it away in the far corner. It really was a top-class finish. You then look at the second half, and Rangers obviously get the second goal, tidy enough finish with his right foot. Good ball from Ianis Hagi, who was obviously sent off later. It was the correct decision. It was a red card. You know, just a mistimed tackle, but it was good to see him back. You know, and I think that he could be, you know, a big player for Rangers once he gets back into. He's obviously going to be suspended now, but once he gets back into the first team training with them and go back up to match speed, he can have an impact for Rangers. But you got the job done, and you know, you would expect Rangers to obviously beat teams like St Johnstone at home. They've done that, got the 3 points, moved on, and they'll be hoping for you know, a similar sort of continue in the same form when they come back after the international break.
I certainly hope the viewers in Go Ballistic this morning are more interested in your words than Mrs. Boyd. She's even left the room. You're talking so much nonsense. But Ianis Hagi, when he created that goal for Černý, is that just, you know, does that show what he'll bring to the team playing forward from that central midfield position?
Well, Roger, I think we touched on it a few weeks ago in terms of Lawrence Shankland, Tom Lawrence in that area there, when, you know, when he's on fire and scoring goals, and you know, he's fit, then he's an asset. But you know, I said it last week that it's been a period of time now that, you know, and you didn't want to see Tom Lawrence get injured, but unfortunately for Rangers, he is, and they do need somebody else in that position. Whether it's maybe not as so much as the number 10, but that maybe allow them to bring Bajrami into the middle of the pitch, and then, you know, somebody on the left hand side. It was McCausland last night, but you know, you look at the way that Philip Clement wants to play. I think it's Černý on the right hand side coming in and trying to link with players that allows Tavernier to go around them on the left hand side. If it is Hagi, you know, he's going to come in and try and use his right foot. He can play off either side because he's so good with both feet. But that allows Jefty to get forward as well. So I mean, his running power, Jefty, I think, you know, he'll get up and down. He'll get balls in the box. But it needs to come from someone in the wide area coming inside, and Hagi can do that. My cousin's more of someone who'll try and hug the touchline as such. But, I just feel as if for me, it should have been done. We spoke about it last week. It should have been done weeks ago. Ianis Hagi should have been back in the fold and, been able to contribute to our Rangers team right now, because they've lost a lot of players over the summer. And if you've got someone there, use them. I'm just glad that it's been sorted out and you've got someone in there who can play. She's back for more. She's come back. For more.
Clearly, that's more interesting. That last little section and Hagi was far more interesting. Listen, it's been a weekend for wide men. Nicholas Kuhn to win for Celtic. Cherny gets 2 for Rangers. What about Matty Kennedy?
Yeah,
they're 2-0 down at Dens with 4 minutes to go. They win 3-2.
Yeah, I mean, it was a huge result for Derek McInnes because, and I know that the performances have got better, shall we say, since the European exploits ended. But you've still not had that win. You think, right, I need a win. Last week, Dundee United 3-1 up. You end up drawing that game, and then you're 2-0 down at Dens, and you think to yourself, here's another week going past. You're now probably going to be faced with 2 weeks of international football, and everybody will be questioning, what's going on. This Kilmarnock team, where were they from last season? They're losing goals right, left, and centre. But fair play to them. They've found a way to turn it around, and you've got to say, McCracken won't be happy with the first goal, but take nothing away from Kilmarnock, the way they went about their business to get themselves back. Obviously, Matty Kennedy with 2. I must add as well, Bruce Anderson on the score sheet as well, but the touch from Bobby Wales out there and then able to get it down and drive straight at Dundee goal and fire a lovely ball across for Kennedy for the winner. It was really, really good play from the youngster, and someone who you kind of get the feeling, it was David Watson that was getting it last week, but you're looking at, and I know Kilmarnock have been, with Watkins and Vassell, that's been the front 2, it's been the ones that have always played, but you just kind of get the feeling that Bobby Wales might just be knocking on the door now. He's had a look in, and I know it was only he's having an impact in games, and sometimes it's just what you need. I mean, I happened to myself. You've got older, experienced boys there, then all of a sudden the youngsters given an opportunity, and away you go, and you don't look back. It could be the case that Bobby Wales is getting to that stage where you can't hold him back anymore, and Derek just has to let him go. I know he didn't score, but it's just that directness, the power, and obviously the awareness once he gets into that area to cut it back. But Matty Kennedy, star man for Kilmarnock, that's for sure.
There's no holding back. Aberdeen at the minute, 13 games, 13 wins. They're up their level on points with Celtic at the top of the Premiership. They go to Celtic Park directly after the international break, and they showed another side to themselves yesterday to beat Hearts twice. They led twice. Well, they led early. They were then behind. They then had to fight back, and they got a dramatic winner, Ante Palaversa, in the dying moments. They're doing well.
Oh, they are. I think, we spoke about Hearts a few weeks ago, Roger, in terms of the losing run that they were on, and that had been continued from the previous season. Coming back, and then all of a sudden it's been the opposite for Aberdeen. You've got to see, if you go back to when Peter Leaving had the team towards the end of the season, they finished the season very strongly. Didn't taste defeat. In fact, what was it, the last 5 or 6 games? I don't think they won 4 or 5 of them and drew the last game against Ross County, I think it was. They've came back. There's a new manager in there. They knew he was coming in anyway, but there's a new manager in now, and they're just a freedom. Go and play. And the Aberdeen fans, they'll be enjoying going to Pittodrie. You can see the numbers. Brilliant for Scottish football. I mean, I've always said that. I know I'll have a laugh and a joke, but we need your Rangers, Celtic, Hearts, Hibs, Aberdeen. We need them at the top if it's going to be a strong league. Listen, it's the opposite for Hearts. We'll touch on them in a minute, but take nothing away from Aberdeen. Yes, they might have rode their luck last week at Dens, but still managed to win there. There was times at the weekend where you felt as if Hearts, did have the better of them, but they keep finding a way. Jimmy Tillene and his players deserve enormous credit, that much so. But look at that, Roger. I've even got, look at that, a sheep in the background there. Look at that. They deserve a little bit of credit this morning, the old Aberdeen. So well done to them. Well done. But again, Hearts, wow. It has improved, I will say. You look at obviously got the draw against Ross County, but I mean, there's, 19 points already behind Aberdeen, with a possible 21 to play for Aberdeen, 24 for Hearts. And they've obviously played that extra game as well. It is incredible. But a fantastic result for them during the week in Europe. But they're going to have to come back and improve. And would you say it's the top 2 when we come back. The top two, Celtic and Aberdeen at Celtic Park.
That's
what do you think?
The only way it could get better for Aberdeen. They've gone 13 straight wins. They're 19 points clear of Heart. They're getting huge crowds at Pittodrie. Things are going so well. You've even got a tribute for them on the wall down at the farm.
Incredible.
It'll only get better if they get positive result at Celtic Park. Boydie, it's an absolute delight. I will let you go. Thank you very much, and thank Mrs. Boyd as well.
Thank you.
Thanks very much for watching Go Ballistic. Remember, you can like and subscribe to the Scottish SunSports YouTube channel. It's a busy week on there. On Wednesday, I'll be doing the Coffee Club with Bill Leckie, looking back at the weekend's football and ahead to Scotland's trip to Croatia at the weekend. On Thursday, it's the next instalment of Derek McGregor's 1-to-1, where he has exclusive access and interviews to some of the SPFL's top managers. And we will be back here on Friday. It'll be a little bit of a different Go Ballistic. It will be with an international flavour to it as Scotland go ahead into the Nations League doubleheader. Thanks for watching.